Hey Cam, there was an anonymous NFL coach who said that you can't be Superman anymore, and related that to you being a vegan. What would your response be to those comments from the anonymous NFL coach?
I don't speak to anonymous people. I speak to real people. So if it's not called by a real name, then it's no need to give a answer. I'm going to give an anonymous answer, so it's relevant.
Before we get to the footage, guys, please leave a like on this video so you get more content like this recommended to you and to boost my content in the YouTube algorithm. And check us out on Twitch. We live stream on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays at 9 p.m. Pacific time, and we upload short little excerpts of news content onto TikTok. Break! Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Guys, there's a lot of important stuff to get to in this video, and I can't wait to open your eyes to how Cam Newton is going through this Patriots training camp, because you're gonna see vintage Bill Belichick in here a lot of times. So, guys, we all know that probably one of my favorite storylines of this offseason is the fact that Cam Newton is currently on a revenge tour. After the Carolina Panthers brought in Matt Rule, Cam Newton was a free agent for way longer than any of us expected. After winning MVP in 2016 and dealing with some injury issues, the Carolina Panthers elected to move on from Cam Newton, electing to sign Teddy Bridgewater to replace him. They are kind of going through a regime change. Then Cam Newton started uploading a bunch of workout videos that featured Odell Beckham in a very inspiring way. I don't know about you guys, I personally was very juiced whenever I would see some of Cam Newton's Instagram posts. Eventually, about a month ago, as I was boarding my flight to Utah, I get a tweet from Adam Schefter himself saying that Cam Newton has officially signed with the New England Patriots. And we're all excited. It's something that we all envisioned happening throughout the entire NFL offseason, but for some reason, it wasn't happening. We were sitting there waiting for the news to come out, but at first, it seemed like Bill Belichick wasn't going to go for it. Now that he's a member of the New England Patriots, there are some other strange things that are happening. For example, it doesn't appear as though Cam Newton is just going to be handed the starting job. As a matter of fact, Bill Belichick has implied that they might go with Brian Hoyer or Jarrett Stidham over Cam Newton, and I really don't blame Bill Belichick for this, because first of all, Bill Belichick is in a very strange situation himself. This is the first time he's changing quarterbacks in almost 20 years since he moved on from a former number 1 overall pick for a player that was a 6th round pick that ended up becoming one of the most legendary quarterbacks of all time in Tom Brady. Now he's kind of going backwards, moving on from Tom Brady for a former number 1 overall pick in Cam Newton. For the most part, many of us said that the scheme makes sense. Cam Newton could succeed in New England, and it should be a lot of fun to see Josh McDaniels get his hands on a scrambling quarterback. He hasn't had a quarterback like since Tim Tebow, who ironically was backed up by Cam Newton during his years at Florida. And all of that seems very exciting, but there's a bunch of things that needs to happen in order for the fit to be seamless once Cam Newton takes over the reins. And the first thing that we're realizing is the fact that the Patriots aren't giving first string reps to Cam Newton. As a matter of fact, the quarterback reps for the Patriots went in this order according to Doug Kyed. It went Brian Hoyer, Jarrett Stidham, Cam Newton, and Brian Lewerke. Now, Patriot fans know that Jarrett Stidham has had tremendous hype going into him for the entire offseason, because before Cam Newton, he was the presumed starter. But here's the thing, Bill Belichick kind of has a reputation of going with a player that's already familiar with his system and has been in Foxborough for a few years. Even though Brian Hoyer is in his 3rd stint with New England, he's familiar with what the Patriots do and the Patriot way. Jarrett Stidham was there last season, and he was being groomed to take over for Tom Brady. So, in terms of the Belichick way and the Patriot way, it should come to us as no surprise that Cam Newton is getting the 3rd team reps. Now, what adds to the mystery and confusion is the fact that this year, there are no preseason games. So we're not really 100% certain that Cam Newton is going to be the man under center in week 1. Although it's a very safe bet to assume so, I really could see a scenario where Bill Belichick tries to keep his cards close to his chest and maybe even try to bait and switch his former linebacker coach, Brian Flores, by the time the Miami Dolphins face the New England Patriots in the first week of the NFL season. But regardless, I wanted to show you guys some of this Cam Newton footage because it just looks so surreal to watch Cam Newton in a Patriots jersey. And for the most part, I am very, very excited to see what he's going to do when he's teaming up with a Bill Belichick that is definitely trying to come out for revenge against Tom Brady for leaving him potentially. I don't know if that's a storyline. I know Tom Brady may have some animosity towards Bill Belichick. I don't know if it's the other way around, but I'm sure Belichick is out to prove something, that he was the one to have made Tom Brady. Tom Brady did not make him. And Cam Newton is even further out to prove something. The fact that the Carolina Panthers made a grave mistake moving on from him. Now, I would be doing a gigantic disservice to you guys as an analyst and a commentator if I didn't give you the full story, because I would like to think that Cam Newton and Bill Belichick could reunite. Cam gets through all of his injury woes and he's able to backpack the Patriots all the way to a Super Bowl, but there are some factors in play, and it's the fact that the Patriots are seeing a lot of their top talent opt out. And while some of the players aren't the most important this season, although I really don't understand why they would opt out, I'm looking at you, Marquise Lee. I've been waiting for you to break out forever, and I'm sure Matt Lacrosse, Danny Vitale, Najee Torin aren't really big opt-outs, but the Patriots are seeing a large quantity of some of their greatest players opt out of the season due to the current pandemic. Now, I don't want to come off as insensitive. I'm sure they have their reasons. I'm sure they have families. Some may be having newborns. I 100% understand. It just sucks that we won't be able to see this great talent on the field, and it's without a doubt going to affect the Patriots because the New England Patriots are a very defense-oriented team. So not having players like Dante Hightower and Patrick Chung and even Brandon Bolden, who on occasion will come out of nowhere and surprise us, can have huge ramifications for the Patriots to even make it to the playoffs. I would like to think that they could potentially get over this, and I've seen the Patriots get over way, way worse, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if with the pandemic, with a brand new quarterback that has to learn a brand new scheme and a brand new playbook and who has to get over his injury concerns, with your defense being dismantled of its best pieces and also not having the greatest wide receiver core and also not really having a lot of fantastic offensive pieces, I wouldn't be surprised if the Patriots don't even sniff the playoffs. So let me know in the comment section who you guys think is going to do better. Do you think the Buccaneers will do better than the Patriots? Do you think the Patriots will even make it to the NFL playoffs? I would really like to hear your take. Aside from that, we have a brand new video dropping on the worst injury in NFL history. I'm going to leave a link to that in the description down below. Make sure you set a reminder for that one because it's going to be absolutely epic. I'm your boy Mikerophone, and I'm dropping the mic until next time.